So it's important to point out here that the concept of, like I said earlier, vampires comes from the reptilian culture, because a lot of those females, they have fangs, they drink blood, and they're vampiristic in nature, much like the Magians. But not all reptilians are, just a certain class of them. And the Anunnaki, the story of the werewolves comes from them because their countenance is lion-like. There's some drawings that one will see. I should have put one in the presentation where they are shown on Indian temple walls what they look like. And they look like werewolves, and they're all cannibals. They eat each other. They eat their captured people in war. They eat the dead. They don't need rations as an army because they just eat everything around them. And they're terrifying. So the concept of the werewolf comes from there. So I'm sure you've seen the Underworld film franchise with Kate Beckinsale, right, with the Lycans versus the vampires and all that. This is based loosely on this idea. What's interesting about the Underworld series is it talks a lot about the idea of hybridization. What happens when you hybridize these creatures? So hybrids, the idea of hybridizing creations is a very interesting one, because when you hybridize a creation, the result of that hybridization is more powerful than the two beings that went into it. And so various extraterrestrial civilizations are always engaged in hybridization. If you want someone to mine an asteroid, you have to design a physical form that can operate in the vacuum of space. And then you can put consciousness or a soul into it, and it's a slave. You can have it work. If you wish to create a super soldier or a being like that, you can genetically modify a being for those purposes as well. One of the reasons that the Nebu Gray aliens, the Greys we all know about, is so angry all the time, and really they're not a happy bunch, is because they were one of Lucifer's first creations. They were created as slaves, given that metalloid sort of body they have, and very small because they were working in mines. So when people say, well, why are the Freemasons called the Freemasons? They say, oh, because we were stonecutters who worked with stones and built the pyramids. No, you didn't build the pyramids, Lucifera did. But it's kind of a half-truth, because the Nebu Gray were actually stonecutters. They were genetically engineered to work in mines, but they ended up rebelling. And that created a problem that still exists to this day. So this sibling rivalry created a lot of different creations. So Lucifer, he was out engineering various races of human beings. And so what's interesting about Enlil is that he went under another name. His name was Yahweh, because he thought it was a great idea to impersonate the Divine Father. He wanted to play God. So when you have technology that is 100 million years more advanced than ours, actually several hundred million years, you will appear to other beings as if you were godlike. You're certainly recreating life, which you can easily say, I'm creating life, even though you're not. Yahweh is not the Divine Father. Yahweh is actually Enlil.